Let's talk about the JellyBeanSweets controversy. JellyBeanSweets is a 20-year-old young woman who started gaining views on TikTok from her Just Dance videos. Over the last few months, she has faced plenty of criticism because of how much her content is changing. Jellybean started to incorporate mukbang content into her TikToks, and at first, it was just the normal eating videos. She would have a normal meal and eat it at a normal pace. Mukbangs actually started in South Korea when people would eat on live stream to feel less lonely, and I know a lot of people enjoy eating content because they find it relaxing. They enjoy the ASMR sounds, and some even find that it helps with their own EDs. They like having someone eat with them, it makes them feel less lonely, it helps them to eat their food, whatever. Over the years, mukbang content has changed from something that people simply enjoy to a horrible and scary content funnel where the eater is rewarded for outdoing themselves every time, which is actually just how all the algorithms work in general, but it's a lot scarier when we are encouraging people to risk their health for money. Now, let me say that this video is not a commentary on fat bodies. And anyone that's mentioned in this video, this is not a commentary about their weight. Those are things that I do not care about. All bodies have the right to exist because they exist, like it or not. And a lot of people are talking about this creator specifically because of her weight and appearance. And again, that has nothing to do with me. People like to pretend to care about fat people because they care about their health, when in reality, they just hate fat bodies. Also, not that it has to be said, but she isn't fat and she has a very average body. She just has gained weight in the last year. And you know what? Those people are often very transparent with their hate. They suck. I don't want them here. If that's you, get out of here. I'm throwing a tomato at you. Boo. I want to talk about the impact that the algorithm has on our lives. And with each niche online, there is a downside to it when you are being rewarded for shocking people and for attention. Let's first take a look at where Jelly started and where she is now. And trigger warning, there will be sounds, but I will try my best to edit most of them out because I hate ASMR. I don't understand how anyone finds it relaxing. It literally makes me feel like I'm being hunted for sport. So, like I said, Jelly used to make some really normal eating content and some dancing content. Sometimes she would just review different foods, and other times she would do a storytime video while she ate food. Again, this is all very normal, nothing we haven't seen before. A few months ago, people started to notice a change in her content. She stopped doing her dancing videos, and her eating videos were less review-based and more about eating as much as she could while making some interesting sounds. Her videos got messier and messier, where now it looks like she's trying to make as much of a mess as possible. Now, a lot of people were suspecting that JellyBeanSweets was making feeder content. Feeder content, which I will just be saying FC from now on because YouTube will suppress the fuck out of this video. But FC is content that people make for people that are into feederism. Feederism is a fat fetish subculture in which individuals eroticize weight gain and feeding. FC is nothing new, but there is definitely more of this content being made on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, which has a large user base of children. There is a difference between someone just eating a meal and someone moaning and spilling sauce all over themselves while eating as fast as possible. Here are some examples of FC that Jelly Beans is creating. She has also included a timer in these videos where she's trying to eat an entire meal in under a certain amount of time. You can see in this caption, she says, Taco Bell mukbang, 2 burritos all under 4 minutes, which is also a part of FC. People want to see people eat large portions extremely fast. There is a very scary side to it where people enjoy watching others gain weight. They love being the reason for them gaining weight, and in some cases, they even want these people to eventually die. Some of the other things that people have pointed out that align with Jelly Bean making FC is that she will wear shirts that show her stomach and kind of highlight her recent weight gain. Again, nothing wrong with gaining weight, and if you feel comfortable in your body, that's all that matters because it's your body. The concern comes in when you see this young person who started her TikTok dancing and just talking about her life. She did make a point to say her dance videos weren't for weight loss, but just because she loved dancing.
I get this sort of comment a lot, so I thought I would address it. I don't do Just Dance for weight loss, but with the amount that I do Just Dance, I have lost weight. It's cardio, you're gonna lose weight. I would recommend it as a good workout, so.
Now the dancing is gone, and she seems to be banging out these videos very quickly, doing multiple mukbangs in one day and mostly of fast food. When you go into the comments of her videos, you will often see people say that now they want the food that she's eating. There's even a trend on TikTok where people try to eat like her, and a lot of people say when they watch her videos, it makes them want to buy the food that she's eating. Okay, I'm gonna go into conspiracy land for just a minute, but I've often thought that some mukbangers are sponsored behind the scenes by certain fast food companies. I have no proof of this, but just knowing how capitalism works and how even when laws are put into place to help with transparency, people don't care. People know undisclosed ads and ads that look and feel authentic always perform better than a paid sponsorship. And corporations don't really care about the harm that they're doing, they care more about profits. The reason Jellybean is doing this is because the algorithm has rewarded her for it. She is now in a content cycle where she gains views, engagement, and money from outdoing herself each time. But it's not just rage bait, it's not just sharing a terrible take. She is now risking her health for TikTok views.
I want to talk about one specifically where it's like the JellyBeanSweets or whatever it may be, where they're tying in, or people are talking about like the similarities between her and another creator on YouTube, that like they saw the progression of like eating the mukbangs and like clearly seeing the like the weight gain or the like unhealthy behavior when it comes to food. And I think something that's so dangerous when it comes to specifically TikTok, like being a creator and being somebody who gets paid by views, it's like seeing her content, not only is she getting like the chemical dopamine responses of like eating this junk food, but she's also getting like financially rewarded and like socially rewarded with like with views and likes and followers. And I think like that triple whammy of money, of views and followers, and like sugar and salt and whatever, it's like that's such a deadly combination. And it's like it's so sad to see that like in late stage capitalism, it's like because that content does well and because she enjoys making that content and like people enjoy watching that kind of content, like it's just like this vicious cycle. And it's so sad to see from like an outward perspective where it's like, yes, she has the right to do whatever she wants, like that's her content, that's her life, whatever, so on and so forth. But it's when you want the best for somebody and like when you can see an unhealthy behavior and like an addiction, even like if you want to like put that word on it, it's so scary and sad to see it in real time.
Previously, people were only speculating that JellyBeanSweets was creating FC, but it has been confirmed when someone decided to DM her asking her if she takes any requests.
Somebody leaked their DMs with Jellybean asking for feeder content, and she agreed. If you're unaware, feeder content features somebody eating an excessive amount of food in a very messy way for others' personal gratification. The person DMing her was offering 150 pounds for her to eat a long burrito with a lot of liquid. At the end of the day, Jellybean decided not to take the cash and opted to get a couple items from her wish list.
There are a lot of people who are also comparing her to Nikocado Avocado, which I'm sure most of you know, but just quickly, Nick was a vegan content creator, and eating food has always been something he shared with his audience. He then decided to quit his vegan journey and started eating meat. Watching him gain weight and create rage bait content for years now has him in a place where it seems his health is at an all-time low. And he's even made a few videos sharing his health journey and how scary it is for him. Okay, so after I finished making this video, I went to just go look again just to make sure that Nikocado hasn't posted anything. And he hasn't posted anything on his main channel in the last 6 months, but he has a second channel where he talks more about his personal life and he posts on that regularly. And it seems that he is getting better. He's losing weight. He's in some kind of health journey for himself, which is amazing. And of course, I'm wishing him all the best because I can only imagine the complications that came with gaining that amount of weight that quickly for him. But, maybe it all worked out in the end because now he's rich. So maybe I got it wrong. Maybe we should all go make eating content and then be rich and then decide what we want to do after that. I don't know. I'm just joking. Don't do that. He is not the only person who fell down the evil algorithm cycle. Content creators like Hungry Fat Chick, Amberlyn Reed, Foodie Beauty, Life by Jen are all creators who prioritized a health journey on their YouTube channels at one point. But each time they would end up falling into the mukbang cycle and would throw away their intentions of losing weight or getting healthier because of their audience. Their audience was responding better creator to the videos of them eating large portions of food over the videos of any health journey. Now, one of the most important things I've learned while being a content creator and creating content for others for over 10 years now is that what your viewers want shouldn't matter. And I, of course, care that my viewers do enjoy the content that I create, but I always have to stick to what I want to do because it's my platform. And eventually you do realize that it's not about growing as fast as possible and having the most amount of followers, but having followers that actually like you for you. They engage with your posts because they like it. Those are the people that will most likely support you wherever you go, and they genuinely want the best for you because they've created this parasocial relationship where they see parts of you that they relate to. And there's nothing wrong with having a parasocial relationship. There is something wrong when you are changing your life in drastic ways just to please other people, though. And in the case for these types of content creators, it's not only that they're not getting to be their authentic selves or really changing their lives in the ways that they want to, they're literally risking their health by doing this. One of the content creators that I mentioned, Life by Jen, actually started off as a weight loss channel, eventually did mukbangs, went back to weight loss, went back to mukbangs. She's had a back and forth relationship with weight loss and mukbangs for years. Unfortunately, she did end up passing away, and a lot of her viewers know that it's because she never got the chance to really prioritize her health up until the very end when things were getting very scary for her. People have had different views on FC. On one hand, it isn't our responsibility to care about what other people are doing with their bodies. The feedie is actively participating in the kink, which would mean it is not a consent issue. And should we be kink shaming these people? On the other hand, oftentimes the feeder is abusing their power with the feedie because the feedie has an ED. Food addiction is real, and it's hard for people to create a healthy relationship with it when they are addicted because you can't just quit it. You have to eat food every day, and it becomes a temptation daily. And when it comes to kink shaming, I think there's a difference when there is a victim in your kink, when someone is being victimized. It all of a sudden becomes worthy of shaming. And just to be clear, I'm all for kink shaming FC. And I'm not saying that Jelly has an ED or is addicted to food, but I also wouldn't say that vegan Nikocado had an ED at the time when he was making his vegan content. I mean, he easily could have, since EDs and food issues show up in so many different ways. It is not just overeating or undereating. And there's a lot of people with quote unquote normal bodies that have EDs, but you would never know because it doesn't show. But seeing how Nick went from your average content creator living his life, showing his journey, making music, traveling the world, to gaining hundreds of pounds, arguing with his partner in videos, raging over food, and just making a name for himself as a rage content creator, it's hard to know what is all for the camera and what has actually changed the person that he is. Nick is obviously playing into a character because it gains him views. So even if all of the interactions with his partner and all of the rage baiting was just that, rage baiting and all fake, the weight gain wasn't. JellyBeanSweets is still very young and she has her entire life ahead of her. It would be really sad to see her go down a path that on the surface seems very rewarding and lucrative and then have it go very left very quickly. I can't help but be worried about the influence she has on people to eat large amounts of food, not only because she's making it look good for them, but also just people copying this type of content because the monetary benefits that come with it are very much there. And if adults are being influenced by her, then I have to think that the kids who watch her on a regular basis are also being influenced. And if you're like me and you grew up in the cocaine thin model era, you know how easy it is to be influenced at those ages and how difficult it is to struggle with food issues. And that was just me watching shows like The Biggest Loser or America's Next Top Model, where they were demonizing a singular role. It wasn't someone encouraging us to eat and gain weight, but it was someone encouraging us to not eat and not gain weight. In my opinion, they both just seem very dangerous for similar reasons. YouTube has taken some measures to protect its users from ED content. You are not allowed to binge on the platform or have any content that overly celebrates or encourages EDs. But people will always find a way around that because it's not a black and white topic. A lot of creators that make FC just say that they would have had the same amount of food if they weren't on camera, and that it's just a normal meal that they're eating. And who can say that they're lying for sure, even though there will be signs. Anyways, what do you think about JellyBeanSweets and the content she's making? Do you think content platforms should be responsible for what they are showing their users? And also for paying these people to create FC? Do you think it's that person's choice, and even if it ends badly for them, they knew the risk involved? Where is the line to draw at everyone doing what they want to do and people being easily influenced into harmful actions? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you made it this far, you're a real one and I see you. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, love you, bye.